talk to me about who you think. Tony Blair seems like a good guy, right? How do you feel about Tony Blair? We both know Trump. I mean, everybody knows Trump wants a Nobel Peace Prize. So this is not theatrics for him. This is not performative in any way. He started this with the Abraham Accords, which was so cute yesterday. Why did him say it like that? That was very sweet, actually. We both know he actually wants this. He's evidenced that with what he did in his first term with the Abraham Accords. So he means it. I take him at face value, unquestionably, and he put his name on it. Like, if you hate Netanyahu, I'm in charge. I felt great about that. Tony Blair and a group of neutral international leaders. You want to posit a guess? Like, who could that be? What are you thinking? What do you think of Tony Blair?
Yeah, I mean, Tony Blair is basically fine. He's tried different cracks at Middle East peace over the years, particularly with Bill Clinton. Like, does he have any respect of anyone on the ground there? Probably not. But you need to hand it to somebody to facilitate some of this stuff, right? Otherwise, it just gets kicked back to like the 5 families of Gaza who will be fighting again and whatever's left of Hamas and everything else. So again, that's why it's like, okay, here is a deal. It's 20 points. It's on paper. It is not perfect. We will see what happens. But at the very least, if Hamas accepts and Israel withdraws and gets their people back, then there's at least a period of time where there won't be killing, there won't be fighting. Maybe nobody's really happy with what happens. Maybe there will be internal fighting in Gaza or whatever. Maybe Tony Blair's never even able to get there because the security's not good enough. But at least what seems like the intractable problem now would at least temporarily go away. But I do want to reiterate, there is not one person on October 6th. There was not one Israeli that wanted to go back to Gaza. Nobody. Even Netanyahu himself, there was nobody. They wanted nothing to do with them. They tried peace. And every time they tried peace, we'll give you land, you can have autonomy, all of these things, which they had never had before. They were rewarded with terror. They were rewarded with suicide bombs. They were rewarded with car bombings, stabbings, blown up discos, and all of those things. So nobody wanted that's why they called it disengagement. They didn't say it's peace leaving Gaza, we're getting peace. They said we're disengaging from these people. And then their reward for that was October 7th.
Here would be my question to you on this one, though. I feel like Qataris are not stupid. I feel like this would have been floated to Hamas or everybody prior to them making this announcement, Trump and Netanyahu together, or that everybody would have such egg on their face. Do you think that like Hamas had no idea or they had some idea?
Well, you'd have to ask the leaders of Hamas who have housed the billionaire leaders of Hamas for years. You'd have to ask the Qataris that, right? So that's one part. But the other part is, look, the deal, whether we think it'll bring peace at the end, Trump said eternal peace or something, like, I'm not that Pollyannish. But the basic idea that here's the deal. Bibi's not getting everything he wants, but he signed on board. You guys have 72 hours to say yes. And Trump said, if you don't say yes, Israel's going to do what it's got to do. So if Hamas, if anyone that cares about the Palestinian people, which, by the way, very few people actually care about the Palestinian people. They just want dead Jews. If you cared about the Palestinian people, the entire time you'd be screaming, release the hostages. It's as simple as that. But if you cared about the Palestinian people, this is it. There's a deal. Maybe you're not getting everything you want, but you're going to release the hostages. Israel is going to completely withdraw. You're going to get a ton of money pumped into that area. It's on the same freaking coastline of the Mediterranean that Tel Aviv, which is one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, is on. You have every opportunity right now. So if they say no, and that's why it's so interesting, because all of the pro-Palestinian people, they're all silent about the deal because they don't want this to end. They want the slow bleed out of Israel. It has nothing to do with saving the Palestinian people. If it was saving the Palestinian people, all of the pressure in the world would have been on Egypt. Sinai is freaking empty. By the way, Israel had Sinai, and they gave it back to Egypt for a piece of paper that said, we're going to have peace. I've been to Sinai. It's empty. It's huge. It's probably 10 times the size of Israel. You could have moved every Gazan there the next day. You think Israel was going to chase them out? Like, no.
Okay. So
it's basically a good deal. You want the war to end. You want the Israelis out. You want the hostages back. It's a good deal.
All right.
Does it lead to Pollyanna peace? Probably not, but whatever.
Cooler days call for layers that last, and Quince is my go-to for quality essentials that feel cozy, look refined, but won't blow your budget. Think $50 Mongolian cashmere, premium denim that fits like a dream, luxury outerwear that you can wear year after year, because these are the pieces that turn into your fall uniform. I'm personally eyeing the wool coats because they look designer level, but they cost a fraction of the price. And honestly, the quality is just as good, if not better. And the way they do this is that they directly go to top tier ethical factories and they cut out the middlemen. So they deliver luxury quality pieces at half the price of similar brands. It's the kind of upgrade with your wardrobe that feels smart, stylish, and effortless. I find my fall staples at Quince, and you can go to quince.com/Jillian for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Jillian to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Jillian. Okay, so I want to look at one part of the hostages piece, right? Well, they didn't give up the hostages because it was their only protection, even though Israel was able to take them out any place, anytime, anywhere, regardless of them giving up the hostages. So that didn't make a ton of sense to me, but I heard it quite a bit. Well, now Netanyahu said he would offer them amnesty. Give it up, walk away, demilitarize, give us back our people, we'll give you back your people, we're going to give you amnesty. Do you believe it? And do you think they take the offer? Because I'm told that the people in charge of Hamas now are like fourth stringers, like a bunch of kids. Because the people who headed Hamas 2 years ago are gone.
Right. I mean, I don't know if they're going to take the deal. It's a little hard to know what the chain of command is and all that stuff. But whatever influence Qatar and Egypt has, like, they better take the freaking deal. Trump said this is the deal, 72 hours, right? So better take the deal. By the way, most countries in the world, if this had happened to them, I think a lot of countries would have had a quick conversation with their military elite and said, you bomb the f*** out of this place and basically kill everybody within about 48, 72 hours. And unfortunately, our hostages are going to pay the price. Israel's lost almost 1,000 soldiers. These are pretty much all 25-year-old men in the effort to save 20 living hostages. So at some point, that doesn't even make sense anymore. It's an unbelievably horrific negotiation that you have to think about. But again, imagine if it happened from an American context, what we would do if we just knew that over time, we were just sending more and more healthy young people for a situation that may not even ever get back those hostages. So this is it. This is it. They can choose whoever they is. They can choose. You want to continue this or not. But it's so interesting, the silence of the quote unquote pro-Palestinian side. Why wouldn't they, if they've all been screaming, there's a genocide, which there isn't. And by the way, they've been screaming about that for 50 years. The Palestinian population has gone up virtually every year since 1967. But if you believed it was a genocide and this was the end of it, and even if you thought you were still getting the short end of the stick for some reason, you'd still do it. But note silence from all of them.
Well,
have you seen one?
I have.
Who?
I did watch Cenk because I wanted to hear the other side of it. And Cenk's position is, hey, if this is real, it's great. But the devil's in the details. And I'm like, okay, because I was like, what is the other side? So I can ask Dave Rubin, since the chances of getting you in a room with Cenk, even though you were brave enough to do it on Piers Morgan, which I was so impressed by. But so his thing is, I think, or suggested, that it's some sort of a trick because the devil's in the details and it'll be impossible, right? Like, how far, what is your security perimeter? Are you really pulling out of Palestine?
Well, they wrote a map. The thing is, but okay, so we can always do all of those things.
Well, their game is, this is a trick. They're going to give them an offer. They have no choice but to refuse. And now you have carte blanche to be genocidal animals. That is that's what they're...
I know, but he's
I'm not
just
agreeing, Dave. I'm just
right,
telling
no.
you. So
yeah, I mean, he's just an epic. So I can't speak to his. I can't speak to. Well, I guess I could speak to his motives because I do know him. I mean, the guy's just a fucking moron. But that aside for a second, again, if you believed this was a genocide, if you cared about the Palestinians in any way whatsoever, you have the leader of the free world presenting a deal. It's on him now. It's on Trump. So whether you like the deal or not or anything else, the Israelis are saying, we just want our people back. We are going to move back. They literally presented a map with drawn lines on it about what the borders will look like and where
What
the
do they look
withdrawals will
like?
be and all of those things.
I missed that. So if
No,
we,
well, you can pull it up. There's a certain border that, Gaza's
Okay.
basically been shrunk over time because as they've gone in, because they have to
Right.
basically go in house to house. But as the time goes on,
They're gonna
you guys should
withdraw.
show the map as I'm talking about
Okay.
this. Maybe even my guys can pull up the map. As the time goes on, they will move back, and eventually it'll be to the regular border with Gaza. And there might be this like tiny sliver
Security
of like
perimeter.
a security perimeter, which anyone in their right mind would be for.
Got it. Okay.
On both sides, right?
Yes.
Right? You should be for it on both sides.
Yes, completely understand.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the podcast, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And make sure to let me know what guests you want to see on in the future.